Lemieux, 5 and a game, and he's gone. Draper is the victim, and it was a rotten shot right from behind.
The center penalty coming up. Look at Lemieux! Oh my heavens! What a goal!
Some players are heroes, some are villains, and some, they're both, depending on who you ask. From legends we worship to pests we can't forget, these are the most hated and most loved players in NHL history. Let's drop the puck on the most hated. One hit changed the NHL forever. Matt Cook's blindside elbow on Marc Savard forced the NHL to rewrite its rules, making him one of the game's most reviled figures. This is Matt Cook, the agitator you love to hate. Over a 16-season career, more than 1,000 NHL games, Cook made his name as a forecheck pest, gritty, physical, and always hunting impact. On March 7, 2010, Cook delivered a blindside elbow to Marc Savard, ending Savard's career and triggering outrage across the league. The result? NHL Rule 48, banning blindside hits to the head. But the Savard episode wasn't Cook's only infraction. He earned a 2-game ban for hitting Scott Walker, 4 games for elbowing Fedor Tutin in 2010-2011, then a career-high 10-game suspension plus a playoff round for striking Ryan McDonough in March 2011, and in 2014, another 7-game playoff ban for a knee-on-knee hit on Tyson Barrie. Fans erupted, especially in Boston, where the Savard hit remains a sore point. And even NHL Vice President Colin Campbell refused to discipline Cook on that hit, sparking intense backlash. He finished with over 1,000 games played, but the scars remain. Rule 48 stands today as a direct response to Cook's actions, not his goals or assists. Despite his late career shift, many still regard him as one of hockey's dirtiest players. Matt Cook is proof that one player's actions can reshape a league. But at what cost? Coming up next, we break down Brad Marchand, the little ball of hate. Brad Marchand dances on the line between genius and disgust, earning the nicknames like Rat, Noseface Killa, and Honey Badger. This is Brad Marchand, elite forward and hockey's ultimate provocateur. In a 2020 NHL's Players Poll, Marchand was voted the dirtiest player in the league with 29% of votes. He's notorious for on-ice stunts, licking, slew-footing, and even choking Ottawa's Nick Cousins during a heated January game. His antics set social media ablaze and earned fresh criticism. Marchand leads the NHL not just in misconduct, but in mind games. In 2020, peers voted him both the best and worst trash talker. Yet here's the twist. His pest status masked true brilliance. He punched the air with 100 points in 2018-2019, became Bruins alternate captain, and in 2025 joined the Panthers, where he's still lighting fires and racking points. Marchand is hockey's anti-hero, thrilling fans 1 second, enraging them the next. He's been suspended multiple times over his career, ranking among the NHL's most frequently penalized forwards. Talented, tenacious, toxic. Brad Marchand proves that being unforgettable doesn't always feel good. Coming next, Tom Wilson, the modern NHL's most feared physical presence. He's the enforcer nobody trusts. On any team, meet Tom Wilson, feared by rivals, reviled by fans. Washington Capitals power forward, an enforcer in a world trying to move past violence. In 2021, Wilson was labeled the most hated NHL player on social media, with 47.9% negative mentions. That same year, the NHLPA revealed he was the third most disliked opponent, yet still the kind of player every team secretly wanted on their roster. Since 2017, Wilson has been suspended 6 times and fined 3 times, from 20-game preseason bans to 7-game hits in 2021, and a 6-game suspension for a high stick to Noah Gregor. His disciplinary history is brutal. Wilson's most controversial moment, a stick to the face of Noah Gregor in Toronto, leading to a 6-game ban. In 2021, he blindsided Brandon Carlo and in the preseason of 2018, nearly faced 20 games for boarding Oscar Sundqvist, later reduced to 14. But here's the kicker. Despite the hate, Wilson is a 4-time All-Star, Capitals alternate captain, and a true team protector. He's the poster boy for the NHL's internal conflict. Is power forward brutality a relic, or part of what makes hockey so damn appealing? Love him or loathe him, Wilson forces fans to keep watching, and leagues to keep punishing. Tom Wilson lives in the gray area, hero to Capitals fans, villain to the hockey world. And that tension? It's exactly why he's one of the most hated players in NHL history. Up next, Claude Lemieux, the original postseason provocateur. We're heading back to the birthplace of modern NHL hatred. Claude Lemieux was the master of crossing the line. from playoff devastation to even biting an opponent. Meet Claude Lemieux, clutch predator, and hockey's most reviled postseason assassin. Lemieux won 4 Stanley Cups with 3 different teams and piled up a reputation for postseason damage, especially after his infamous hit on Chris Draper during the 1996 Western Conference Finals. He delivered a devastating hit from behind that sent Draper face-first into the boards, fracturing his jaw, breaking his cheekbone, and sparking one of the NHL's fiercest rivalries the very next year. The damage didn't stop there. More than a decade earlier, Lemieux infamously hit Jim Pepelinski during a melee, leaving fans shocked and opponents speechless. He only earned a slight 2-game suspension for the Draper hit, a decision met with outrage. To this day, he ranks among the most hated players in NHL history. Draper never forgot. "I can't believe I shook that guy's hand after the game. Still gets me." In Detroit lore, Lemieux remains the pinnacle of playoff villainy. Claude Lemieux proved you can win championships and still be reviled for life. Next up, NHL's increasingly theatrical agitator, Sean Avery. He rewrote the rules by being unbearable. Sean Avery was more than just a pest. He was a provocateur whose antics forced the NHL into action. He patented the annoying goalie screen, leaning in with intent to disrupt vision and sanity. Not content with that, he threw in trash talk and stares that drove opponents nuts. Off the ice, Avery was no less bombastic. In interviews, he mocked opponents' families and personal lives. He even publicly clashed with the media and management, turning every stage into controversy. The NHL eventually had enough. They codified the infamous Avery rule, specifically to ban his blatant goalie interference tactics, a testament to his polarizing influence. Twice voted the NHL's most hated player by his peers, Avery's reputation still divides. Some hail him as the ultimate competitor. Others regard him as the embodiment of disrespect, inside and out. Sean Avery didn't just play the villain. He lived it. And if you think that was bad, wait till you meet the guy who made Mario Lemieux consider retirement. Up next, Ulf Samuelsson. Ulf Samuelsson didn't just toe the line, he erased it. To his fans, he was a warrior. To his peers, a knee-hunting cheap shot artist who nearly ended careers and nearly drove legends out of the game. Say his name in any NHL locker room from the 90s and you'll get the same reaction: disgust. Samuelsson played over 1,000 NHL games, won 2 cups with Pittsburgh, and made a living throwing his body around. But his legacy isn't built on grit, it's built on recklessness. In the 1991 playoffs, Ulf threw a devastating knee-on-knee hit on Boston's Cam Neely. The result? Years of injuries, early retirement, and a career derailed. Neely never fully recovered, and Bruins fans never forgot. Even Mario Lemieux, his own teammate, once said, "Guys like Samuelsson have no respect for anyone." When Mario Lemieux says that, you know it's bad. What made it worse? Ulf never backed down, never apologized, never cared what anyone thought. His job was to get under your skin, and he was damn good at it. He wasn't just hated, he was feared, resented, and remembered for all the wrong reasons. And if you thought that was brutal, it's time to flip the script. Next up, Corey Perry. Score, slash, smile, repeat. That's the Corey Perry special. He didn't just get under your skin, he rented space and redecorated. But he also had the resume to back it all up. A Hart Trophy winner with the personality of a cartoon villain. He was hated, and that was the point. Make no mistake, Perry wasn't just a rat. He was elite. 50 goals in 2011, over 400 career tallies, and a Stanley Cup before he turned 25. He could finish with the best of them, but what made him infamous? The other stuff. The knees, the sneaky elbows, the not-so-accidental collisions. He was always at the center of chaos, and he liked it that way. Every fan base hated him, until he joined their team. Ducks, Stars, Canadiens, Lightning, Oilers. "Perry sucks!" chants followed him everywhere, and he ate it up. In the twilight of his career, Perry reinvented himself. A fourth-line warrior, a glue guy, a playoff menace who somehow ended up in the final 3 straight years, on 3 different teams. He's not the guy you want to face in a Game 7. He's the guy you curse at for 60 minutes, then quietly wish was on your team. Corey Perry wasn't just hated, he was dangerously effective. Up next, Ron Hextall. Most goalies make saves. Ron Hextall made statements. He didn't just protect his crease, he turned it into a war zone. And if you came too close, you'd leave with bruises. A Vezina finalist and an honorary enforcer, Ron Hextall wasn't just a netminder, he was a menace. No one crossed him and got away with it. He chased down forwards like a hitman in goalie gear. If you parked in his blue paint, you weren't getting a whistle, you were getting chopped. But Hextall wasn't just a lunatic, he was talented, one of the best puck-handling goalies ever. He even scored a goal, twice, the first goalie to do it with a direct shot. The league didn't always love it. Suspensions followed, fines, critics, but in Philly, he was a cult hero. He played angry because he cared, sometimes too much. Hextall may not have always played smart, but he always played fearless, and decades later, his name still sends a message. Cross the crease, and you're gonna pay. We've seen the villains, the elbows, the slashes, the boos. But now, we flip the script. These are hockey's most loved players. He had the flow, the flair, and the fire. Jaromír Jágr wasn't just loved, he was adored. Over 3 decades, Jágr went from Czech prodigy to international legend, earning respect everywhere he skated. Meet Jaromír Jágr, hockey's rockstar monk, the man who outlasted eras and outworked everyone. He debuted beside Lemieux, won back-to-back cups in his early 20s, and somehow just never stopped. His blend of size, strength, and hands made him uncheckable. His salute celebration, iconic. What earned him universal love wasn't just production, it was obsession. Jágr trained like a machine, sometimes skating with weighted vests at midnight. At 45, he was still putting up NHL points. He never took himself too seriously, joking about his hair, his age, his superstition. But when it came to the game, pure devotion. Fans loved that. Still do. He's still playing pro hockey in 2025. Not for ego, for love, for his hometown team, for the sport that gave him everything. Jaromír Jágr didn't just leave a mark. He left a legend in every arena he entered. Next up, the ultimate leader, the quiet captain who defined class, Nicklas Lidstrom. He wasn't flashy, he wasn't loud, he was just perfect. Nicklas Lidstrom didn't need trash talk or big hits. He simply beat you with brain, balance, and unshakable poise. He played 20 seasons, never once had a bad one. Lidstrom won 7 Norris trophies, captained 4 Stanley Cup teams, and somehow did it all with fewer penalty minutes than some enforcers had in a week. Teammates called him the anchor, opponents called him impossible, coaches called him irreplaceable, and the fans, they just called him the model of greatness. No scandals, no ego, just excellence. On the ice and in life. He made being classy, cool. Nick Lidstrom proved you don't need noise to be legendary. Next up, the Flash from Finland, Teemu Selanne. Some players skate fast. Teemu Selanne, he flew. He didn't just break rookie records, he obliterated them, and he did it with a smile that made fans fall in love. From Winnipeg to Anaheim, Selanne became hockey's most joyful sniper. In his rookie year, he scored 76 goals. That's not just an NHL record, it's a freak of nature stat line. He tossed his glove, shot it with his stick, and grinned the whole way through. But Teemu wasn't a one-season wonder. He put up over 1,400 points, played in 21 NHL seasons, and won a Stanley Cup at 36, and still looked like he was having the time of his life. Selanne's joy was contagious. He was humble, funny, and always grateful to the fans. Even opponents found it hard to dislike him, because the guy just loved the game. His farewell tour was a love fest. Opposing teams lining up to honor him. Fans everywhere saying thank you. That's not respect, that's reverence. Teemu Selanne made hockey feel fun, made it feel fast, and above all, made it feel human. Next up, the ultimate two-way captain, Patrice Bergeron. If hockey had a soul, it would wear number 37. Patrice Bergeron wasn't the loudest or flashiest, but he might have been the most respected man to ever lace them up. He led by example, spoke softly, played flawlessly. Bergeron was a two-way clinic, a 5-time Selke winner, and the standard every young center was measured against. He made defense look beautiful and made it count. His teammates adored him, opponents admired him, the media respected him. Bergeron didn't talk trash, he talked truth, and everyone listened. He once played through a punctured lung, broken ribs, and a separated shoulder, and didn't tell a soul. That's not just toughness, that's loyalty. When he retired, there wasn't a dry eye in Boston, because they weren't just losing a player, they were losing the heartbeat of a generation. Patrice Bergeron made greatness look graceful. Next up, one of the classiest captains in NHL history, Joe Sakic. He didn't chirp, he didn't chase headlines, he just scored, again and again. Joe Sakic was the definition of class, cool under pressure, cold-blooded with the puck. A captain in every sense, and one of the game's purest clutch performers. Sakic racked up over 1,600 points, 2 Stanley Cups, and a Conn Smythe. And he did it all without ever needing to yell. Just one flick of the wrist and the crowd went nuts. When the Avs won the Cup in 2001, Sakic didn't lift it first. He handed it to Ray Bourque. That single gesture said everything about the man, and fans never forgot it. Coaches respected him. Rivals feared him. Teammates trusted him. Sakic didn't have an off switch. He had a standard. Even after hanging them up, he built another champion from the front office. Same class, same calm, same killer instinct. Joe Sakic let his game and his grace speak for itself. Next up, the King of New York, Henrik Lundqvist. In a city of stars, Henrik Lundqvist was a spotlight. The style, the swagger, the saves. Henrik wasn't just a goalie. He was royalty on and off the ice. Drafted in the 7th round, became a legend in the first row. One of the best technical goalies the league has ever seen. Over 450 wins, a .918 save percentage, and consistency that made the Rangers a contender every year. He was unbeatable when it mattered most. Game 7, automatic. MSG in the playoffs, his kingdom. He dragged teams deep into the spring, no matter the odds. But it wasn't just the pads and saves. It was the suits, the music, the humility. Henrik carried himself with grace, whether at a gala or a post-game presser. He never chased a cup elsewhere. He stayed loyal to the Rangers, to the fans. And when number 30 went to the rafters, the Garden rose as one. Henrik Lundqvist was more than just the king. He was class. He was clutch. He was New York. And he'll be remembered as one of the most beloved players the NHL has ever seen. Up next, the magnificent one. Some players score goals. Mario Lemieux performed miracles. A generational talent who beat the game, beat the odds, and saved the franchise. Twice. He made hockey look like poetry, and Pittsburgh look like hockey heaven. 6'4", smooth as silk, hands like magic. Lemieux could do it all. Coast-to-coast rushes, no-look passes, power play snipes. He once scored 5 goals, 5 different ways, in one game. Then came the unimaginable. Cancer, back injuries, retirement. And still, he came back. In his first game after chemo, he scored. Because of course he did. That's Mario. He didn't just carry the team on the ice. He saved it off the ice. Bought the Penguins out of bankruptcy. Kept the lights on. Built the foundation for a Crosby-era dynasty. He wasn't loud. He wasn't flashy. He was beloved. One of the few players even rival fans couldn't hate because he gave everything and asked for nothing. Mario Lemieux didn't just dominate. He uplifted. He inspired. He changed the game and the people who watched it. He was magnificent. Next, we have the Magic Man. He didn't deke defenders. He made them disappear. Pavel Datsyuk turned highlight reels into art galleries. A thief, a wizard, a humble assassin. With hands smoother than jazz and a heart wired for team-first hockey, Datsyuk made the impossible routine. He didn't just wow with goals. He picked pockets like a seasoned street magician, then glided in and buried it with a smirk. First team all-defense and all-swag. Ask any NHLer, he was your favorite player's worst nightmare. Even Sidney Crosby once said, "He's the best player I've ever played against." No ego, no chirping, just genius and silence. While others branded themselves, Datsyuk kept quiet, let his skates and stick whisper greatness. Red Wings fans knew, every night, you might witness something the NHL had never seen before, and probably wouldn't again. Pavel Datsyuk didn't just play hockey, he enchanted it, and the spell still hasn't worn off. In the end, legacy isn't just trophies. It's the memories burned into fans forever. The clutch goal, the cheap shot, the standing ovation, the deafening boos. Hate fuels rivalries. Love builds to legends. And sometimes, one player earns both. So now it's your turn. Drop your picks below. Who do you love? Who do you love to hate? Because in the NHL, reputation is everything. And these players, their reputations are immortal.